Hello and welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm gonna see if I can beat Terraria using boomerangs only. Hope you enjoy. Alright, to start things off like usual, I chopped down some trees for some wood. I traveled left down a cave and mined some iron as well as some tungsten ore. Deeper down the cave, a fairy led me to my first life crystal. The first weapon I needed to find is the wooden boomerang, and it can only be found in wooden chests above the surface or just a bit below. But unfortunately, after opening an unusually large amount of wooden chests, I was still unable to find one. I got back home and made some pumpkin armor, as well as upgraded my pickaxe to gold. I went down the jungle and found some more life crystals, and then I remembered there was another boomerang that I could get, and it is found in the snow biome inside ice chests. But to my surprise, there wasn't any ice boomerangs in the ice chests that I found. It got to the point where I was actually about to quit this world, delete it, and make a new one because this was ridiculous. I pretty much couldn't progress through the game any further until I found a boomerang. I ended up maxing out my health before I even fought the first boss, until finally I was able to find the wooden boomerang. With the boomerang, I immediately upgraded it to the enchanted boomerang with a star. Next, I went down the jungle and collected some jungle spores as well as some stingers to make the Thorn Chakram, which is another boomerang. When night arrived, that's when I finally fought the first boss, the Eye of Cthulhu. After defeating the first boss, I went to the dungeon and built an arena for the Skeletron fight. But I realized it was about to turn to daytime, so instead I went down the Crimson and summoned the Brain of Cthulhu. I got back home and made the Crimson armor set. The next night is when I summoned Skeletron. After defeating Skeletron, I went down the dungeon and got myself the Cobalt Shield. I then started running down towards Hell. When I arrived, I started building a long bridge to fight Wall of Flesh. And I also mined some Hellstone to make the Molten Armor set. I also upgraded my enchanted boomerang to the Flamerang with some of the Hellstone bars. Afterwards, I found some sky islands with the red balloon and the fledglings. I got back down to Hell and summoned the Wall of Flesh since I was well over prepared. After the Wall of Flesh was defeated, I went down the Crimson and started breaking some demon altars to start spawning in the hard mode ores. I then mined some cobalt, mithril, and also titanium ore. After mining enough titanium, I made the full titanium armor set. So now that I'm in hard mode, I needed a better weapon than the Boomerang, and I decided to kill some hollowed mimics for the next Boomerang, which is the flying knife. It took me 2 kills before getting it. I needed some better wings than the fledgling wings, so I decided to kill some wyverns for the souls of flight to make the demon wings. Later in the night, I summoned the destroyer, and with the flying knife, it was just pure satisfaction. Running the knife throughout its body was just, oh, so good, you know? Immediately after killing the destroyer, I summoned the twins. With nothing else to do, I slept in my bed until night. When night arrived, I summoned the last mechanical boss, Skeletron Prime. Now having enough hollowed bars, I made the full hollowed armor set. With the 3 mechanical bosses now defeated, I went down the jungle and found the Plantera vault. I blew up an area for the arena with some dynamite, and then I summoned Plantera. I also used a really cool technique to fighting this boss that you will see in a few seconds. All I did was send my flying knife inside this little box, and then I just flew around the box so that Plantera could not shoot any of its petals at me. When Plantera reached its second phase, that's when I had to take the flying knife out of the box. I wanted another boomerang for fighting in different situations, so I made the light disc. Now that I defeated Plantera, I went down the dungeon and killed some paladins for the next weapon, the Paladin Family. It took me quite a lot of kills before getting it. Next up, I went to the temple and summoned the golem. If I were to fight this boss with the light disc or the flying knife, it would have taken me a lot longer. I killed the golem a couple more times to get the next and last boomerang, which is the possessed hatchet. And pretty much what this weapon does is lock onto enemies, so there really isn't any point to aiming, which makes it the perfect weapon to fight Moonlord with, and the lunatic cultist as well. I then went on to kill the 4 pillars, starting with the Nebula, then Stardust, Solar, and then finally Vortex. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed watching me beat Terraria with only boomerangs. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.